It is about thinking about the resources that our state attorneys general have and supported by the federal government to do the investigations and then prosecute these cases, looking at them not only in terms of simple drug trafficking, but also the enterprises that support that drug trafficking.
VP Harris today at the administration's roundtable to combat fentanyl. Of course, fentanyl continues to kill 100,000 Americans or so a year. The administration says they are doing their best on the border and refused to discuss for almost 2 years what we've talked about for a long time: labeling the cartels as terrorist organizations. Why American leadership, on a bipartisan basis, refuses to treat the Mexican drug cartels like the terrorists they are. This year, an estimated 40,000 Americans between the ages of 18 and 45 will die of fentanyl overdoses. That's 18 to 45-year-olds and just of fentanyl doses. So to be clear, kill Americans as a terrorist and we will kill you. Kill Americans by trafficking drugs into America, and America turns a blind eye. New research shows how Mexican cartels mass-produce fentanyl with chemicals that are sourced in China. Yet the Biden administration says the cartels are criminal gangs, not the de facto state actors they are. Some members of Congress appear ready to start treating cartels like the terrorists they are. Welcome to the party. Their leadership is much closer to Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi or even to Osama bin Laden than they are to the American mafia and Al Capone. In that sense, the White House is right. Calling them terrorist organizations does nothing. Treating them as terrorist organizations changes the ballgame. A number of Republican presidential candidates now say they might send the U.S. military into Mexico and take the war on drugs to the cartel. All right, with us now, Congressman Dan Crenshaw, Republican from Texas, who leads the Congressional Task Force to combat Mexican drug cartels. To be clear, we didn't hear anything about either naming, shaming, and labeling these groups as terrorist organizations or treating them as such. But you make a very good point about why there's a huge difference between labeling them as terrorist organizations, which we've talked about, and then treating them as terrorist organizations in how you go after their command and control and whether you use the U.S. military to do it. What's the difference?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a legal difference. The side effect that we point out is that if you label them an official terrorist organization, well, that has a side effect of making a credible fear claim for asylum seekers much greater. Also, if you hear from DEA, it might mess up some of their ability to do unclassified criminal investigations through law enforcement means to actually prosecute these people. To simplify it for everybody, you absolutely need to treat them like terrorist organizations. You have to target them the same way that we targeted ISIS. You use intelligence, you use sources on the ground. You work by, with, and through your partners in Mexico. You work through the Mexican military. The Mexican military is already at war with these cartels.
I hear what you're saying. I'm thinking back almost 2 years now when President Biden said to the Mexican First Lady that Mexico isn't in our backyard, it's our front yard, on and on and on. But you made a good point, by, with, and through our partners. At least as far as I can tell, the Mexican president doesn't have any interest in really waging a real war on the cartels. He said publicly he doesn't want the U.S. military to act as close air support. And you get into a question of, okay, if the United States has some of these cartel leaders, the El Chapitos, for example, who took over from El Chapo, in the crosshairs of a Predator drone, why not just take them out? What is the clutching the pearls on the other side by somebody saying, well, we're not going to invade Mexico? Why not tell the Mexicans either you take care of business or we will?
Yeah, well, my message to the Mexican government is also really simple. You need to be asking us for help, right? If you think the fentanyl problem is all our fault and we're the ones supplying cartels with arms and all that, okay, fine, think what you want to think, but then you need to ask for our help to actually stop it. Because whether an American's flying that drone or a Mexican is flying the drone, whatever, but they should be killing the cartel members who are actively at war with the Mexican military. You know, so you know, if the president of Mexico doesn't want our help, well, look, we're willing to give resources so that his own people can stop dying at the hands of the cartels. This really shouldn't be that complicated of a discussion, right? We should all be on the same team here, and it blows my mind.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.